August 14th. Take 3. Okay, so it's take 3 because I keep going off course because my mind is so bipolar lately. But anyways, update since the last recording in May. Hope everyone's been doing well. For those of you who are following me on Instagram and Facebook, this is not new information. It's just a kind of a rehash, and then maybe a little bit about what's been going on, But so after I told you I was starting the Keytruda, the first dose was 400 milligrams. The tumor, the main tumor they were concerned about, came out 3 days later. It killed it. And they gave me 2 doses of Keytruda that first time. It was 400 milligrams. So it was 6 weeks later when I took the second dose. In those 6 weeks, I started radiation, I think 2 weeks before the next Keytruda dose. Yes. And so I had 10 sessions of radiation, 10 treatments when I did the next Keytruda. Even though the tumor was gone, that was why I was doing outside radiation, was mainly for that big tumor. But there, it's treating also the other cancer. So I completed 25 sessions of radiation, outside radiation, yesterday on the 13th. And I'm doing my 3rd round of Keytruda this Sunday on the 16th. I'm a week late on it, a week and 2 days late. I missed the scheduled Keytruda initially because I forgot to do the blood work, and quite frankly, on that Friday, I just couldn't get out of bed. It had been a very bad night the night before with 0 sleep, and I was just like, I'm not going. I'm not going to radiation, and I'm not going to Keytruda. The Keytruda, I knew, oh crap, I didn't do the blood work, so there's no way they won't see you. So they won't give you the dose because they gotta check your thyroid levels. Mainly they're looking at your thyroid levels. And so mine are really high from the Keytruda. So I'm going Sunday. The next step is internal radiation, or they're gonna put the radiation right up to where the tumor was. And that's a long process. It's 2 hours. I gotta have a catheter and get an IV and go through a CT scan machine so they can place it. And then they put the radiation directly into that area. And that will be 3 treatments. So once a week for 3 weeks. And like I said, it takes about 2 hours from start to finish. But the actual time doing the treatment, it's just like outside radiation. It takes less than 10 minutes to treat it. A lot of it's just prep. And then I'm gonna, after this Keytruda, I have one more 3 weeks later. No, yes. One more 3 weeks later, September 6th, I believe. I'm seeing my oncologist this Wednesday, the 20th. But my CA-125 came back today, and it wasn't good. It was 20.7, so it's not as low as I would have wanted it to be. And so I knew, I broke down because I knew that meant that I'm going to be doing chemo. And the nurse called later in the afternoon. Everyone's all, don't think that, because I went on Facebook and updated it there and on Instagram. So I'll just have faith. I'm like, I already know because we discussed it prior. I already knew what the eventual outcome is going to be. But I'll see her on the 20th, and but the nurse basically said, yeah, I'm going to probably go to a chemo combo after I finish the Keytruda. Now, I still need to have CT scans done and the PET scan, but the authorization is still pending. So between now and the last Keytruda is probably when she'll get the results, closer probably to the last Keytruda. So sometime after the last Keytruda, and another 3 weeks basically, I will see the doctor again, and she'll have the scan results. And the scan results, and then again blood work, because I will do blood work on the 5th, with 654. Around the 4th, I will do blood work. So she'll have that along with the scans at that point. So that's going to decide what type of, chemo combo I'm basically going to go on. So when I got the results from my CA-125 marker test today, I lost it. I just cried and cried and cried because I really want to be able to just say that we got it and I'm in remission and I get to move to Texas with my husband. Or I'm not moving there technically because I'll be staying my residency I'm keeping in California, because I can't get insurance. I can't get state covered insurance in Texas. So, and I can't afford. I mean, I could afford to pay monthly, but I'm not. If we have to pay the the 10, even 20% of this, we're going to be wiped out financially. So I'm going to stay here where I have no income and I can get the state covered medical that I'm on now. My medical costs already are about 1.1 million. That's what the state has paid, just for the cancer. That doesn't include the $800 a month medications I'm on. That doesn't include, my husband and I have probably spent about another $6,000 to $10,000 just on things I needed that wasn't covered, that we purchased out of pocket. Some before the insurance kicked in, there was a lot of things I had to get that we had to pay out of pocket for. So I understand why people, even with insurance, who are college educated, have great savings, how they go poor through, how they lose everything through this process because it is so damn expensive. I'm an advocate for Medicaid for all. No one should have to lose their lives, because they can't afford to pay, and that's what happens through this process. They lose everything. I was reading, and it was a man. His wife was only 5 or 6 months into the process, and they had hit because they probably had the same insurance for many years, but they had already hit their lifetime benefit on it. I believe he had a lifetime benefit, and I didn't know that was still in existence. That, or I'm assuming that's what he meant when he said now they're not covered. A lot of plans used to have $1 million lifetime benefit max. So if you work for a company for 20 years and you get sick with cancer, 20 years of doctor's appointments. If your wife had it's his wife, so she had children, all that adds up to what they'll pay, you know what I'm saying? But even at, 1.1 million, if you'd have paid 10% of that, it's a lot of money. So if you're young, get supplemental insurance as well. Aflac, one of those, anything. Ask those questions. What's my lifetime benefit max? Do I have a lifetime benefit max? What's my out-of-pocket max? So questions y'all need to be asking. And find a financial advisor and buy some life insurance. There's a lot of options nowadays. So, because you don't want them to do a GoFundMe to bury you. Just putting that out there. So yeah, that's the plan. And I'm hoping, I really want it to be in Texas. I want to at least see my new house and whatever, but even if I get the all clear, I'm not going to be there more than a few weeks at a time because I have to keep my residency here. And I want to go back to work. I don't know what I'm going to do now at this point with this damn pandemic and whatever, but I'll figure it out. I will not work retail, though. I'll go to an agency if I have to, a temp agency, a file clerk, or, there's not much I'm going to be able to do because I can't really type. My hands keep freezing up, and it's not a carpal tunnel. It's something with the nerve damage done, and I don't know if that's going to be permanent or not because they do think I've said it before. I have an autoimmune disorder, which they think is part of the problem of having so many neurological issues where I shouldn't be. It's not, like, not that it's not even common, like, it's just, they've not, like, she's never had a patient like me. So, yeah, jeez. So I will continue. So when I got those numbers today, I did lose it. I was very upset. I was crying. And it's just because, you know, I've been through chemo already, and it was very rough for me. It was very rough, especially after surgery, since I did chemo first and then surgery and then chemo. It was a lot. It was a lot rougher. Now, I'm going to answer a couple of questions. This is the third take, but a few of you who watch have sent me questions into my email, and so I'm going to answer them. And a lot of you are asking about the surgery. You may have had the surgery, but one just came in the other day, so I know that you have it. For this, the one that's having surgery, I think you said next week, you haven't had chemo, so I'm not sure what to tell you about pain-wise. If someone went that route, feel free to leave a comment and hopefully she'll read it. But for me, I did chemo first because I wasn't healthy enough. My blood sugar wasn't controlled enough at the time to go into surgery where they felt that I would have, they just felt there would be too many complications. So I had to do chemo first. So I didn't have surgery till January, and when I had surgery, by then all the nerve damage had been done. They cut me from, the upper abdomen to the lower abdomen. They did a vertical cut. And I had zero incision pain. It was numb. And I also had a port to the left of my abdomen on the left side where they put a drain port in. Didn't feel that either. Didn't even feel them cut the stitch when they pulled the tube out. Could barely feel the tube coming out, and she's laughing. She's like, most people, they feel it. I'm like, no, I barely feel that. And I had zero complications as far as that went, even though my A1C was high. But as far as pain went, I had some discomfort, a little sore, but not anywhere what I was expecting it to be, which was really just weird. Now, it was hard to walk, it was sore to walk, but not like physically painful. It was just sore, and that was it. But I did chemo, surgery, and then chemo. Now, chemo was much rougher after surgery. It was bad before, but after surgery, it was almost intolerable. There were nights where I just looked at my pain meds and I thought I can just take them and it'll be done, I didn't because, I want to live, but it was to that point for me. And, now I'm on Keytruda, and mentally, I broke down today because I am not mentally prepared right now to even think about having to do chemo. Mentally, I prepared myself that this was going to work and I wasn't going to have to. We're going to get it, and that's not the case. So I'm going to have to. I knew back when I had surgery that if chemo failed, that I was going to have to dig deep and dig hard to have the fortitude to keep going, and the will and the strength, and to keep fighting, because emotionally this is draining. It's draining to feel bad. And if you're going through this process, maybe you understand what I'm saying. If you haven't started, just know that it's going to be rough, and there's going to be days where you question whether it's worth it. And it is, as long as you can have quality of life. And if you have little children, it is because they need you. But it's been a rough road. It's, ups and downs, and it's par for the course. Not every day is going to be good, and not every day is going to be bad. Learn to live in the moment and learn to just enjoy each moment, the little things. And if you're going through this process, you kind of know that things that used to matter, you're just like, they don't matter. When you're looking down that tube and you may not survive, you kind of understand that all this stuff is just things. They're just things. You can't take them with you. You don't take that prestige with you. You don't take that car with you. You don't take any of it with you. And so you kind of learn to focus on other things. So it just, to me, I just want to be happy and enjoy life and give back as I can. And, I want to go back to work. I hate not making my own money. I hate it. I hate being idle is what it is. But when I got diagnosed, I did not have health insurance, and I was working. I had just gone back to work after 5 or 6 years, 7 years, whatever the heck it was. I had finally gone back to work for a company I'd worked for previously, and I remember going to the HR girl, and she was like, because I was like, I'm just trying to stay until January when my insurance kicks in, and then we can figure out what my insurance is going to be, I remember she's like, there's no surgeries for 6 months once you're, once you get it. I was like, oh man. But I still would have stayed if I could. But after the after that round of chemo, when those days went by, I had it on a Friday. I was having the pain. It was a Sunday, or I think it was a Monday. I was at work on a Monday, I believe. And I took my OxyContin at work. And I took it twice. I actually drove home on the Oxy because I was in so much pain. By the time I I left work, I ended up leaving early. Or maybe I closed out the shift that night. I actually got to the end. By the time I got home, I couldn't get out of my car, you guys. I couldn't move. My body had just cramped up like a seizure. My husband had to help me out of the car and into the house and help me get my pajamas on. And the next day, that was my Friday. Mondays were my Friday, and I was off the next 2 days. I went into work because by Thursday and Friday I felt a little better, but back then I still had really bad lower abdomen pain because everything was inflamed from the cancer. And so I could barely work. And I think it was that Sunday, like once I went back, I left that Sunday, or I called out that Sunday. I can't even remember at this point, but I basically got my email open and sent an email that I was quitting effective immediately. They were okay, they were fully staffed, and they were able to replace me fairly quickly with another employee who had worked there previously. So, I felt bad because I hate that I had to do it that way, but it ended up working out better for me because I was able, when I got state-funded insurance, they backdated it to October 1st. So, I didn't have a $64,000 medical bill right off the bat. And, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to figure out a plan. I may not. I may just still live off, my husband's money and stay here in California to keep my residency. We cannot afford, even if I got insurance, if I have to pay 10% of another, right now my medical bills, just for the cancer treatments, and it doesn't include my medicines, just what they've billed from the hospital and all that stays, and it's at like 1.1 million. It's a little over 1.1 million. And if I had to pay 10% of that, even 20% of that, financially, it would wipe us because that number is going to keep growing the longer I'm in treatment. Um, and I understand now why so many cancer patients, even if they were well to do, they had college educated, had 401ks, homes, savings. It wipes it out, you guys. It wipes it out. They are wiped out and struggling to pay these bills. And it's absolutely terrible. Nobody should have to go through that and be sick. And that is why you see so many cancer requests for donations on GoFundMe, because it's very expensive and a lot of them are traveling. I travel 30 minutes. If they live in the countryside, some of them have to travel 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and they have to stay overnight because it's such a long drive, and it gets very, very expensive really, really quick. And that's aside from their medical, whatever their share of cost is. So it's something has got to be done. I still have my GoFundMe, but I don't actively put it out there because I do have state medical coverage, and so if it gets to the point where it's a financial burden to drive, I'll probably activate it again. But I just leave it there. Same thing with Venmo. I wouldn't turn down help, but I don't actively put it out there. Because there are people who live out of state that they can't even afford, their treatments. And I just figure it's better that they get help over me. Financially, I'm okay right now. But the few donations I did get came in handy because I didn't get the insurance until the end of December, basically, when I was notified that it was approved. And during those intervening months, I was buying all my medicines. And my medicines, just the medicines I take daily, are over $800 a month. I pay like $8 something a month just for the meds, and then every other month I have to buy the needles and stuff for my insulin. But it's like almost $900 a month. Almost 900. It's like $8 something a month in medications. It's insane. So in those 3 months I waited, I paid basically like $2,700 or $2,800 that I didn't get back. I had to pay it because I don't think we saved the receipts or whatever. Medi-Cal would have refunded us had we had the receipts, but we didn't have them. Not Medi-Cal, Walgreens, where I go. If we had been able to find all of them, he could have gone in with that paperwork and they would have backdated it and refunded us our money. And it was a lot of money. And that doesn't include like things like Depends and pads and all these things I had to buy, chuck pads, and it's insane, you guys. It's insane. So if you're ever in the position to help a cancer patient, not me, but if you're ever in the position, do so. I'm doing the UC Irvine is having a fundraiser October 3rd. If you go to the anticancerchallenge.org or Irvine, and you can go to their page and you can find it. But if you go to that page, it'll say donate to donor. If you want to join my team, just look me up by name, Justine Haber. It's a virtual walk, run, or 5K. I gotta confirm that because of the COVID, we're under the pandemic. But I am looking for donations. This don't go to me, it's for UC Irvine. UC Irvine is on the cutting edge of cancer treatments, and it's a university school and hospital campus center, and they're great. They're great at what they do. Sometimes there's not a lot of, the communication's not good, but part of that is my fault because we have online charts. So, we can check our medical records, we can check our tests results. We could also message our doctors, which I never do. Um, and I just don't do it. But they're great. And so it's one of the top 10 hospitals or something like that, one of the top 20 hospitals in America to get cancer treatment at. And the nurses and doctors there are very, the nurses are great, first of all, they're all great. But the doctors are also very knowledgeable in what they do. So I think it's the UCI anticancerchallenge.org or something like that. And then it'll say to, if you want to join a team or you want to find a participant, you can enter my name. So you just put my name in. If you want to donate, I appreciate any donations to help me make my goal. If you want to join my team, sign up. I'd appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. That's everything that's gone on since the last vlog. My husband he came out for a week. Not long after he left in July, he was here for a week. He was kind of in and out because he was getting stuff from the house still. We still had things in the garage, some cabinets. So many years ago, my in-laws moved from one house to another in the Coachella Valley. And we got a lot of furniture from them. And some of it were these display cabinets. And my husband had them out in the garage. For many years, they were in my house. But my living room was very small. And I said I didn't want them back in after the remodel, because it just made it look even smaller. So he had them in the garage, but he had them attached at the walls and into his workbench and for earthquake purposes, So, and they wouldn't have fit in the moving van. The moving van was packed. And, my husband and daughters have a lot of things. They have a lot of just things they have saved through the years, which is fine. That's, but there were a lot of boxes. And so, the moving van was just packed full. So he came back and he had to get those cabinets out, and he broke his phone and he had to handle that. And so he was kind of in and out just handling stuff here. He asked me today if I wanted him to come back, because since I got, such bad news, and I was like, no, because, you need to get the house, the things that are done, and then come. I don't want anything done when I'm there. It's got to be done when I get there. And this is partly because of my bipolar disorder. I cannot handle people in my house. My anxiety goes just through the roof, and I don't want to deal with that after having gone through all this. So it's about a month worth of work left or something like that. So it's just flooring, and he's making a bigger shower in the master bath. So that's it. And then he can come here and it's all done, And I'm debating now. I have my fur baby here with me. But if I have to do chemo, I may send her to Texas, which will be really hard because she's very attached to me. She gets depressed and won't eat. So, I don't know. I'd rather have her here, though. She gives me purpose. And she keeps me going. But right now, I pay my little niece and nephew. I pay the kids to help me out with her. If I need them to take her out, whatever, I give them a little allowance. And so that's worked out pretty good. For the most part right now, I'm capable of doing it, though. We went out, but we'll go out one more time just to make sure, since she drank water since we came back. And that's it. That's really it. I mean, there's no more updates about... We're all on... we're not all, on super lockdown now, and all these kids went back to school. I can pretty much guarantee that in a few weeks, everyone's going to be back on lockdown because they sent the kids to school. Well, my niece's kids are still homeschooling. Not homeschooling, but they're distance learning, and she had chosen that mainly because I'm here, so they were going to be distance learning anyways. But, some of the kids here in the neighborhood were going to go back. And I don't know how long they're distance learning for right now, and as long as the numbers are still high here. Um, but a lot of schools did go back, and so it's gonna, we already seen in Georgia. We're just gonna be unlocked. I've been in quarantine since January, so it's nothing to me, and I will be in some sort of quarantine the rest of my life because I'm immunocompromised, and I will always be immunocompromised at this point. Um, so I knew life with the mask was pretty much going to be, if I left my house, how it's going to be for me, and I don't care if people look at me. Um, I always knew that was, something that was going to happen for the rest of my life. And so, I had already dealt with that. Now being locked in, not being able to go anywhere sucks, but I've been like that since January basically, and I'll tell you what, I did get out today, and it was just weird. And not in a good way. Like, I was having a little bit of a panic. And I took my best friend with me, and she literally hasn't really gone into any stores since we started the lockdown in March. Even prior to that, she wasn't really going out. She'll come here to see me, and she drives to her mother's house at night, late at night, with gloves on and her mask. Even if she's outside, she'll wear her mask. And to get the mail, which she wipes down, and she doesn't wipe down it, she's got her gloves. Puts the mail in her mother's garage, shuts the garage, gets back in her car, sprays her gloves, takes them off, puts them in a little trash bag in her truck or her car, and then wipes down again, wipes everything down, sprays. She's got a little alcohol bottle like this as well, and goes home. She orders her groceries, which she sprays down with Lysol and wipes everything. So, she went with me today because she brought me my blood thinner, since the pharmacy I get that from is right by her house, because our doctor is in the same city as her. And I thought she was going to panic in the store. I'm like, it's okay, just put your mask on, and when we come out, we'll spray down, okay? Because she hasn't been out. And I'm like, it feels weird to be out. I was trying to find the Garma Guard, but they didn't have it. That one doesn't even sell it, because the manager looked it up on the thing, so they don't even sell it there. So it's okay. And it's really just kills bacteria, but I like it because it kills bacteria. It doesn't really kill viruses, but it does kill bacteria and other things, so makes your clothes smell good as well. But they didn't have it. I'll have to check see if I can find it online. And that's it. I hope everyone's doing good. If you're just starting this journey, you'll find your own comfort level. Some people do not vlog, they journal, but they don't involve anyone in their journey. There's quite a few women at the infusion center where I go to, when we were allowed to have people who wouldn't bring anybody, they Ubered there. They wanted to be private in their pain. I guess they don't want people to see them like that, which I can fully understand. Know you're in for a ride, and look, always stay positive. Just have a happy, grateful, positive attitude, because that's what's going to get you through it. If you like music. If you like knitting, you can try to knit or crochet, but mostly during chemo, you're going to sleep, because they give you so much pre-meds to make sure you don't have any adverse side effects or reactions to the chemo. And if you're midway through your journey like me, or partway through the journey, you already know. Also stay positive, you guys. I know we're gonna have days like I had today where you just want to say F it all, and I'm just gonna stop, and I don't care, and why can't you just do it, cry, scream, let it out, and wake up tomorrow and just keep fucking going, because that's all we can do. And I'm sorry for the foul language. Just keep going. You know, take whatever day. If you need 2 days, take it. But when you get up, keep going. Do not give up until they tell you there is no damn hope. Then you want to just stop, go ahead. But until that, keep going. If you're at the end of your journey, God bless you. And I'm sure you fought hard. And if you couldn't fight hard, you know, there's so many people that can't afford treatment, you guys. I'm totally an advocate for Medicaid for all. Nobody should be in the position of dying from a cancer because they couldn't afford care. Nobody. And, you know, I've talked to a few people like that. They're dying because they couldn't afford the care. They had a sick spouse or a sick whatever, or they were taking care of the mother, and they couldn't afford to care for both. And they knew they were sick and just had to keep going. And now there's no hope for them. Pray for them. Nobody should have to die because they can't get care. Nobody. And again, I always welcome questions. I am going to do a giveaway. You guys tell me in the comments. I have a $100 Visa gift card, or I have a size 9 Ugg boots, black. I'm just kidding. I'm not giving my eggs away. I have a $100 Visa gift card, or it can be a $100 Sephora gift card. Let me know what you guys want, and that's what I'll do on the next vlog. And if you guys answer, I will definitely make a video to see who's gonna get it. Of course, to enter into my giveaways, y'all have to share the vlog, subscribe, and if you guys need to check your settings, because if you're not open on your subscriptions, I can't see who subscribes, and share. Or if you guys want, you can just leave a comment if you guys want me to do it that way. But everyone who subscribes to me needs to leave a comment to get entered in the drawing. And not too many people do, so if you're someone who comments on my videos, you're definitely getting, your chances of winning are pretty good, because it would be really small. And I just write the names down, and I'll let my little niece pick out the paper. So if you guys want it, everyone comment that yes. We'll just do it that way. Leave a comment. You don't have to share. I don't care. You know, people will find the video, or they won't. This is mostly me vlogging because it helps me keep going. It helps me release. This is my version of a journal. This is also my version of remembering what I've gone through at the end of this journey, whether it's good or bad. If I don't make it, it's a video vlog that my children and spouse will have, or whoever, to still hear my voice. And if you've ever lost a loved one, that's something that, you know, goes, the ability to remember that voice. And so, and if I survive this is just basically for me to look back on everything I went through and how I dealt with it and how I've changed emotionally and physically from this. And that physically I have changed. I'm 62 pounds lighter, so there's something in that. And yeah, so just leave a comment and decide if you guys want the Sephora gift card or the $100 Visa. Personally, I would do the Visa because you can spend it anywhere. But let me know, and I'll vlog back and we'll do it. And yeah, remember to stay grateful and thankful. If the quarantine is getting to you, I'll suggest to y'all, don't watch TV. Get a good book. If you have a tablet, download, you know, Apple, if you're an Apple tablet, whatever, download something and read books online. Google has books for sale. I don't really watch TV because all media is negative pretty much, and I'm bipolar and it does affect me. And I get too into TV shows, and so my bipolar personality, where I'll literally like stress out as I'm watching them and just freak out, and so I don't watch TV. I will watch movies. Also, I don't like the commercials. Commercials absolutely bug me. And so I'm more of a movie watcher, but even then, I don't really watch movies. So usually you will find me in here playing games on my phone or on my tablet reading. And that's what I do. I'm not, or on my phone scrolling through Facebook. But even that is kind of calmed down a bit because the political posts and such hate that I'm reading and such division, it bothers me. It hurts my heart. I can't handle it because it's in my nature to be a loving person and a giving person, and I believe people can be friends and have differences in their political opinions. And so some of the things I see, it just breaks my heart, and I can't. So even though I'll kind of browse through, I'm not really commenting or anything because things that hurt me or upset me or bother me, I'm an adult. I don't leave a nasty comment. I don't unfriend. I may unfollow if you post too much stuff, but I don't unfriend. And I just keep scrolling, and I wish more people would be adults and come from a loving heart and not a heart filled with hate and mistrust, and it's not how we should be. And I get the division. I mean, I don't like Trump either, but I would never tell my husband F you and unfriend me and you just approve of that and this and that, because I've taken the time to talk to him about why he likes Trump and why he supported him, and it wasn't about his personality because he thinks he's stupid too, but he says we were doing good as, economically, which I guess, yes, but I don't like Biden either, and I sure as hell don't like Kamala Harris, and I'm going independent. Everyone's saying pick between the two. I'm not doing it because I will not give my vote to people who don't deserve it, and none of them deserve it. I'm sorry. I don't know when we became a two-party only, but something needs to change. Not just in the political stream, but in people's hearts, you guys. Some of the things I've read, and with the mask wearing and all these conspiracy theorists, and something's just got to change. We need more love in the world, and not acceptance, but we do need more love in the world. And we need to remember that it's okay to disagree with someone and still be adults. And I think somewhere along the way, it's, especially with social media, that it's okay to bully. And it's okay, and I've done my fair share of that to a friend who she's got problems, and and I felt terrible afterwards because our job is to love one another, and we should come from a place of that. So this is really it. We're at 43 minutes. Be grateful. If you guys want, leave a comment. Definitely leave a comment for which you want. I should do this for or Visa, and whatever has the most is what we'll do. And in those comments, that's going to count as your comments. And then the next video, I'll have all the names typed up or drawn up, and my little niece will pull them. And yeah, so I hope everyone has a good weekend. This is Friday night. I know there's not much we all can do. Try to enjoy it. Try to get back to the basics of, being a family and spending time with your kids. Get off your phones and do that. Yeah, kids are great. Some of the things that you'd be surprised that even little ones, how much they know just from observing, and view life from their perspectives. And have a good week. And if you have treatments coming up, God bless you, and like everyone tells me, stay strong, and tomorrow's a new day. I'll see you guys soon.